All right, so on Maritime today, we're going to be looking at non-oil exports, and that's because we're trying to see how we can really change the narrative. So we're saying beyond oil, how non-oil exports is really changing the narrative for Nigerian businesses. And joining me on the phone line this morning, Prince Joseph Idiong is fellow Institute of Exports of Nigeria. He is also the Director General, Association of Nigerian Exporters in. All right, it's nice to have you join us, Prince Joseph Idiong. Good morning.
Good morning, Victor. How are you today?
Very good. So where is your location at the moment as we speak now?
You've always caught me when I get to Uyo. No, it's right.
All right. So where are you located at the moment?
I said I'm in Uyo today.
Oh, Uyo. Oh, great. And the weather, what does the weather say over there? Is it raining or it's still very bright?
It rained in the night, so but this morning it's just dull.
Okay.
The sun is just about trying to come out.
All right, then. So I know that the last time we had a conversation with you was sometime in September. So 6 or 7 months down the line, how are things faring with the Association of Nigerian Exporters? Talk to me.
Come again?
I said the last time we had a conversation with you was sometime in September last year, and I'm saying that this is 6 or 7 months down the line. So how are things faring with the Association of Nigerian Exporters?
It's been a very great moment because after that we decided to embark on consultations with the key organizations in the sector. In November, the week of November 10 through 14, I led a delegation to meet key agencies like the Chief Executive of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Nigerian Export Bank, then met the the Director Trade and Exchange Department of Central Bank, went to meet with the clerk of the Senate in also.
All right.
And of course, the African Export-Import Bank, and then PEBEC, Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, DG.
All right.
So we embarked on that trip to update with other organizations, partner organizations in the government sector, to know what is there so that we can do further improvements. And so since after that November trip, we have been on the board moving on to see how to implement most of the things we do.
Which is
a great time.
Right, which is very good. So, but folks, can you say for sure that things are really changing for Nigerian exporters as we speak today?
Yes, I have to say so because one, the people have been mobilized. We have really mobilized the people. The people are conscious of what to do about the export sector. And within the resources, the relevant agencies have done much. Resources are only with government agencies. The Nigerian government does not provide any resource to the associations to promote any export. So the agencies of government, like especially the Nigerian Export Promotion Council.
Right.
I met the chief executive one-on-one and with my team. We got to discover that they have problem of finance. And so they could have done more. They had targets, they trained our members, exporters, giving them opportunity to have certifications, international certification. And what is lacking is that there is no fund for grants of any type, apart from that is just a type of grant anyway, because they pay 100% for those certifications like FDA, HACCP, all those things. But grants, since the last time we got a grant when the board of the NEPC was there in 2021, there's no more grants.
Okay.
Because of government will do something, maybe reconstitute the board of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council so that the private sector agencies will contribute ideas to the activities of the place.
All right. So let's talk about so let's talk about the kind of commodities now. So what commodities are really, really ripe for exports as we speak today? What are the kind of commodities that you guys, engage in terms of exports outside Nigeria?
Yes, the commodities have not really changed, except that cocoa has fallen. Cocoa last year brought almost 2 million revenue, a lot of it, and then to make the country.
Okay.
It was like that everywhere. I know a place like Côte d'Ivoire, even though they had difficulties, they had about 7.1 billion for cocoa. Nigeria had made some, it was better. The prices have come down again to where they used to be, around that 3 billion. It used to be around 3,000, but it goes to about 12 before. So
Okay.
now cashew has been the second, and it's still right there.
Okay, so on the list, so cocoa is the number one in terms of exports, right? Non-oil exports.
Yes, that's always been number one for a while.
Okay.
And,
Then cashew is the second on the list.
Cashew is there for commodities. Cashew is commodity, as cashew has been there.
Okay.
Also making some waves. And the rest are just trying. Most of them have challenges. Sesame has been doing well too. And then something hibiscus, that is I think that what we call zobo, right?
All right.
I've been having market share too.
Okay.
Because it's been doing well in the South American market.
Right.
A few products, but I think this year the focus is likely more on adding value, because the commodities that give us just peanuts, maybe 10% of the worth that the person who buys processes.
Right.
See, for instance, cocoa.
Mm-hmm.
The Netherlands don't have cocoa. They are the highest importers of cocoa beans, and then they are the highest processors of cocoa beans. So they
Which country is that?
money. Netherlands.
Okay, Netherlands. Okay.
So they earn more money from cocoa than every cocoa producing country.
Wow.
Because, so Nigeria is shipping to them, who will be happy. They buy our cocoa, Côte d'Ivoire, Ghana, all of us. So when they buy, they now add value, process and sell. And they are the highest processors of cocoa. And then they are the highest earners in that sector. So by this time they would say, Côte d'Ivoire is higher
All right.
in cocoa beans. The Netherlands is higher in processed cocoa, and the heights cannot be estimated.
All right.
So
Okay,
that's
then.
how it is. So, but what we need to do in Nigeria now is do something about adding value, and adding value is not a child's play.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Just hold on 1 second. We'll still talk about the kind of value that your association can bring on board. But you just mentioned, a few commodities. Nigeria is supposed to be very, very buoyant when we talk about yam, for instance. Why is it that our yams are not receiving global attention like some other African countries?
Yeah, everything you want to do, you need to plan it and execute it. And so when you want to do that, you have to focus on it. If you are not focused on yam exportation, it's a chancy business. So those who are really doing yam are doing it out of their own interest. But we need to have a national focus on that. I know some states in the Middle Belt try to do something about it. And it has to do a lot with preservation. And of course, most of our yams, like other products, are through smuggled into the neighboring countries, and then they are shipped to and exported through a country like Ghana.
Which is very unfortunate, really, Prince Idiong, if I'm to just butt in for a minute. I hear that is so because international certification for some of these products, these cash products and all of that, is not very, very readily available. So what is disturbing, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, for instance, and the Nigerian government from getting most of these our own products internationally certified?
Well, this is how it is. It's not only certification because it's a foundation that was laid. For instance, if you discuss Nigeria versus Ghana, something happened in the year 2000. That was the African Growth and Opportunity Act, which was established by the United States government, and it lasted up to last year.
All right.
Now, under that situation, Ghana was able to take advantage of it. In fact, they turned their embassy into a beehive, the embassy in the United States. They got the former U.S. ambassador, Ghanaian ambassador to U.S. to head the team, and they were there for every meeting they had in U.S. They were there participating. But in Nigeria, the project was handled by those in charge right in the villa, that even us, the private sector people, were unable to see who was leading what.
Right.
So it is planning. So the same thing might happen even in what we are doing with
the African Free Trade Continental
area.
Yeah.
If we approach it the way we approached AGOA, we will also end up crying, and that Ghana and other countries have taken. So we may have the specs, but if you don't have credibility in the international market, you may have issues. People are used to Nigerians who are also importing from outside the country. You hear them say we are exporting from South America, we are importing from Sudan. So why don't you import from Nigeria? They say it's so difficult to import from Nigeria. So I think most of it is about the seaports, about the airport, about our port policies. What it takes to mobilize an export product from the farm or the farm gate or factory gate to the seaport is so costly that by the time you put the value of the product, it is higher than the international price.
Right. Which is quite.
For instance, yes, if you take any product now and say let's process it, by the time you finish the processing and look at the international price, it's already higher. That's what the importers are suffering. So we need to do something about trade facilitation that will reduce costs.
All right, then.
The majority of the cost is because every agency is staying in his office and putting prices. So, for instance, you are having a product, NAFDAC is sitting in this office setting the price. SOL is setting the price. Farm Produce Inspection Agency is setting the price. Everybody, for instance, recently I got issues that embarrass all of us in the system.
Okay.
In the environmental ministry, the ministry and an agency called MESRIA,
all right,
were contesting who were supposed to inspect something like palm kernel shells. They were giving different prices and different conditions. And you got the exporters were confused. I know of an exporter that complained of having a demurrage of over 22 million at the Port Harcourt port.
Which is quite unfortunate, really. Anyway,
the problem of right. So this certification thing is there, but if the Nigerian government is to do something about it, we need to have a central certification platform where we know who charges what.
At every point in time.
The cost of all these agencies coming to doing from their own office, when you put together those alone, the cost of certifications alone within the country outweigh the price, international price, not to talk of the international certification.
All right, just hold on 1 second. Just hold on 1 second. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is a program, and this morning we're looking at Beyond Oil, how non-oil exports can change the narrative for Nigerian businesses. Prince Joseph Idiong is, of course, the Director General of the Association of Nigerian Exporters, and he's taking us to the classroom this morning. We're going to take a short break. When we return, the National Single Window Project is already unveiled, the first phase. How are Nigerian exporters tapping into this, and of what value would that bring to them? A brief break, we'll be back.
The Nigerian Shippers Council is now better poised with responsive systems in place to help you and other shippers get seamless, stress-free transition for your clients' goods from point A to B. Today at the Nigerian Shippers Council, timeliness, orderliness, transparency and efficiency is all we care about. Put your complaint through to our helpline 0818-888-8895. Visit us at number 4 Ayodele Shoyode Lane, Apapa, Lagos, or reach us on www.shipperscouncil.gov.ng.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the point of your need.
Nigerian Shippers Council, we meet you at the port of your needs.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Maritime Today is a program, and I still have with me on the phone line all the way from Uyo this morning, Prince Joseph Idiong is the Director General, Association of Nigerian Exporters, and we're looking at non-oil exports and how it can change the narrative for Nigerian businesses. Quickly, from the control room, Agege Motor Road, I understand there's a broken down truck having a gas problem at Ikeja Long Flyover Bridge, and this is inwards Ile-Zik. It's occupying 50% of the road, having an impact on vehicular movement from now, but efforts on for its evacuation. Those of you within that corridor, take note of that. Lagos Badagry, presently we're having very, very good movement, especially at Abule Ado inwards Alakija. It's still looking good and no impediment cited at the moment. All right, then, so Prince Joseph Idiong, the National Single Window Project was unveiled on the 27th of March. How are Nigerian exporters keen into this new single window project?
Well, of course, it's just been introduced, right?
All right.
And that is a public ceremony. So we now have to look at how to implement it, get it started, properly done, and then run it. There will need to be a test run because and see how the agencies will fit into it. But it's a very laudable project. It's been there for over 20 years. We've been fighting to get that done. And if it is here done, we now have to see how it is going to be done properly. You see, it's just part of what I was mentioning. The essence of that is to curtail some of these independent individual competitions over revenue, internally generated revenue by agencies, which had been able to just force prices on products.
Okay.
So when you have a single window like that, we should be able to know that things can work in time. You can have activities online, and then reduce this physical paperwork and meeting people, and which will bring some corruptions and all that.
Okay.
So it is now how it will work because of Nigeria's pedigree. I hope the agencies will not try to find ways of seeing how it will not work. The way it works, that will give us a leverage.
Okay.
But definitely it will reduce cost. And then it will give more access to what we should do. So
okay then. Right, it's a welcome development, like I said. 08099120777. If you want to add your voice to the conversation this morning, feel free to do so as we reflect on non-oil exports. And if you are already involved in it, what are some of the prospects of this sector and the challenges that are confronting you as well? Feel free to connect with us. Some messages streaming in for you even as you are talking. This one says, sir, how can an ordinary Nigerian startup benefit from non-oil export business? She is sending that one in. Okay, so maybe you need to break it down for the likes of Sheyi.
Yes, let him go on, right?
Yes, so
that's from Sheyi.
So Sheyi is saying, how can an ordinary Nigerian startup business benefit from non-oil exports?
Yeah, I can take that up. Sheyi, it's very straightforward. You have to do what you know. You have to use what you have to get what you want. For instance, if you are going to export, what are you used to? What environment are you operating in? And what access do you have to the kind of product you want to use to export? Virtually all products are exportable. And also, you have to make sure that you gather your products or you cultivate your products or process your products within the cost that will not be higher than the international market. So if you choose a product that you have people in knowledge or people in an environment that can process it.
Okay.
For you to use it.
All right. So more reactions. Right. Let's take some more reactions. This one says, good morning, Traffic Radio. Please, what are the most profitable non-oil products we can export from Nigeria today? Shehu Ibrahim is sending that one in. Another message here says, good morning, Prince Joseph. Well done for the good work you are doing. Please, how can small-scale farmers take advantage of this export opportunity?
Good morning.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello there, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
All right, what's your name?
So this is Steve.
Oh, Steve, how are you doing?
I'm very good.
All right, then I have Prince Joseph Idiong on the phone line. Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, I just want to ask Prince Joseph that. So I'm into BSF farming, black soldier fly farming. And I don't know, how can, small producers like us, how can we connect with international buyers and export our products?
Okay, you are into what again?
Black soldier fly farming, BSF farming.
Okay, BSF farming. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right.
So how can we connect with international buyers?
Okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so Prince Idiong, what do you think he needs to do?
Yes. Yes, you see, for those who are farming, let me say that farming for export is different from farming for food subsidy.
Okay.
If you are farming for export, you have to align yourself with the export associations or export farmers groups so that you know how to farm for export. Because the seedlings you have to use have to be types that will have good yields, and so that you have, because export is a matter of volume, you have to use the kinds of fertilizers or pesticides or herbicides, whatever you are using in the land. Farm has to be in tandem with what the importing market will require. You don't just put anything you like onto that farm.
So does it need to register with associations like yours?
Yes, that's why I'm coming to that. You have to join the platforms. For instance, the Association of Nigerian Exporters. We are on the internet. We have our website, www.ane.com.ng. You need to register, and then you will be taught how to do it. You also, if you have, you have to have a company, a registered company. That company must be like a limited liability or a cooperative that will be able to go into international market.
All right, then another message here. Another message here says.
Also need to, okay.
All right, another message here says, good morning. Are there government incentives or grants for exporters? Osita is sending this one in from K2. Do you have government grants and incentives?
The grants that should be given to, when you say exporters, there are two levels: prospective exporters and performing exporters. Performing exporters access what we call export expansion grants.
Okay.
That is, if you have exported, and then we can say, okay, well, how much did you export? You said $100,000. It's okay. The government can say, okay, apply for this, show evidence of repatriation, and then you may be given a grant of maybe 10% of 15%.
All right. I wish we had all the time, Prince Idiong. I wish we had all the time. But for those who would like to connect with you after the program, those who are interested in exports, how can they reach out to you guys? Quickly.
Where they reach out, the phone number is 0802 333 6427.
Okay, that's
the website. Yeah, the website.
Right.
www.ane.com.ng.
All right.
On those, you can get us straight. All information will be there.
Okay.
And we'll be happy to have you around. We must be grateful to Maritime program and also the Shippers Council.
Right.
That has been doing this, making this work.
Okay, then.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak to exporters, and we are available to deliver.
All right, then. We'll leave it at that for now. Thank you so much for connecting with us this morning, Prince Joseph Idiong. It's so nice having you on the program. Okay, then, so that's how far we'll go. We'll be reflecting a bit on Beyond Oil, how non-oil exports is changing the narrative for Nigerian businesses. That has been the focus. And I can tell you, Prince Joseph Idiong, who is the Director General of the Association of Nigerian Exporters, has taken us on that excursion. We have to go. The program has been produced by Mike James. I have another Michael in the building, Michael Showande and Abdul Malik Owolowo, right? Both of them in the studios as well. I must say a big thank you to Remy Aluko and Daniel Downsey of our social media team. Our executive producer is Tayo Akonle. Maximum shout out going out to Rebecca Adamu, who's Assistant Director Public Relations for the Nigerian Shippers Council. You can connect with them on all their platforms at NG Shippers. My name is Victor Terry. Have a great day. Bye.